My name's Riley. I'm the writer and director of A Safe Place to Walk Home.
I'm Caroline Johnson, and I'm the actor in the film.
I'm Tom Stevens, and I DOP'd the film.
So just tell us a little bit about the film.
Yeah, so the film is kind of based on the idea that the limitations of safe spaces, essentially, based very much on my experience going to therapy a few years back, and how I found that, during the session, you open yourself up massively, and then as soon as you're out of the door, you're faced with the real world again, and how those breakthroughs you've made, how there's things that, you get to are just kind of slowly eroded almost immediately, and how normalcy just floods back in.
Cool. And how was working on the project with the director?
Brilliant. I mean, I love how Riley writes, and I love his ideas and things like that. And it's my first time in front of the camera. So it was brilliant working with Riley because, felt very comfortable. We worked a lot on the script and going through it. And yeah, it was a brilliant experience.
I think having that time to be able to talk through it is something that often you don't get. Often you're just handed a script. So were you really conscious of wanting to spend that time with the actors?
Yeah, so Caroline and I met in an acting class. I decided to take an acting class, as a lot of directors do. And we met during that. And basically, Caroline was about to bounce for London. So it was like, okay, let's make a short together before you leave, so you have something in your reel. I think having the class helped us get to know each other really well and be able to figure out how each other works. So it was almost like before the film was even written, we were sort of working on that process. And then from there, I don't know, that we shot it in one day, and it was a really comfortable day, really.
Yeah, and I think before you'd been talking to me about your ideas and things like that. Like, it wasn't just you wrote it and then presented it to me and then it happened. Like, we'd been talking about it for a little bit of time, so we kind of went on the journey together. So then when it all came to kind of fruition, it was great, wasn't it?
And talk to us a bit about how you worked on the visual style of the film then. So how you worked with Riley to come up with that visual styling.
So I think in terms of the visual style, it's a film of the two sections, so the safe place and then the walk home. And I think it was first about making those two halves quite distinct, but also pairing together. But then so you really feel the difference between the safe space and the therapy and reaching the breakthrough. But I think it was about because we've done a couple of shots together now. Our process tends to be come up with every possible idea we could do and then sort of boil it down to something that's actually a bit more simple and workable, and then just with a strength for the film. So I think especially the first half, we tried to make it quite simple, really. Most of it takes place in one shot, and I think that really allows Caroline's performance to breathe and gives it that space and the power of it, really. So
fantastic. And just finally, how excited are you to share it at the Manchester Film Festival?
Yeah, incredibly anxious, but also kind of cool. I have no idea what it's going to look like on a big screen. It's exciting. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, guys.